intros, but
We'll add it in post. It'll be
it
fine.
does. And then we're going to be on screen in 3, 2, 1. Oh, baby. Whoa. Whoa,
Like that.
OBS.
Wow.
Operating broadcast system.
Open broadcast system.
Is that what it is? Okay, I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. I call it OBS. So
Yeah. And
That's
fun
just
fact,
me.
all of like the big there's OBS and then there's Streamlabs and whatever. Technically it's Streamlabs OBS.
Oh.
Like yeah, every OBS is tacked onto the end of everything. So
Oh.
Yep.
Is that why shouldn't it also should Kick be called Kick Twitch? Because it's the same thing.
kick/stake.com F1 team. I don't know.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Kick/stake.com/front of Everton's jerseys.
Man, we're gonna have the nicest stadium in the championship.
Oh my god, it's gonna be so nice, right?
It's gonna be fucking
That's
great.
soccer humor. Hey everybody, welcome in. We're about a minute in.
Hey,
Welcome to the Storymoders Podcast, episode 2 or 2.
something.
Yeah, my name is Robert.
That's
and
Robert.
this is
I'm Mike. Hello.
Mike. We're just a couple of nerds who have stupid ideas about games that we play, mostly single-player, story-driven games, and we decided to stop annoying just our friends in a Facebook chat and annoy all of you, anybody there that might be listening or watching. So thank you.
Yeah, they kicked us out of the group chat, so now you get to hear our ramblings. So you're welcome.
You get to hear a
and
dumb
you
ramblings.
can blame them.
Yeah.
Blame
So
our
thanks a lot,
friends. This is not our
friends.
fault. Yeah, jerks. How dare you?
Anyway, so we're the Storymoders Podcast. This is, I believe, the second episode that we are recording. The first one we just went out a few days ago. It's probably outdated by now.
Probably.
But a lot of these episodes, what we like to do is just kind of give ourselves some sort of almost like a creative challenge.
Yeah.
Our first episode was to kind of pitch game ideas from one studio, take an IP from one studio, give it to another. What would they do?
Yeah.
Today's episode, similar. It's still gaming related. It's still going to be one of our basic pitches episode. It's going to be a little graphic that we're going to put on screen and post. But today's challenge for you, Starlight. Yeah! Can I get the balloons to happen again? Congrats! Balloons. I don't know what happened last
Who
time,
knows?
but whatever. It was Discord.
Whatever. Doesn't matter.
But Mike.
Hi there.
This week's challenge.
Yes, this week's challenge, we are taking a gaming universe and turning it into a TV show or film.
Just like that.
Exactly. Like that.
Just like that.
Yep.
Now I know what you're thinking out there. They can't make shows or movies out of games. That's impossible.
Right.
You're right. That's why we're here.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we're here to make these pitches.
Yep. Henry Cavill can't save every show.
Yeah,
he probably can't save these shows. Hey, maybe.
We'll see. Maybe he's in one of these pitches, or all of them, or Jared Leto. Morbius. It's Morbin time. Always.
Morbin time all the time.
Morbin time.
I really want to
Did you play Spider-Man 2 on PS5 yet? No? You should.
No.
Everybody should.
All right. It's on the to-do list right after get a PS5.
Switch those.
What?
Yeah, just play it and then get a PS5. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, it's more important than getting a PS5.
Okay, cool. It's kind of like when you pour yourself some cereal, it's always cereal, then milk, then bowl. Doesn't matter the order of the first two. Bowl is always last.
Yeah. You do. I throw the cereal in the air and then the bottle of milk in the air, and then I grab a bowl and I try to catch them like Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man. And it also takes me 274 takes to get that right.
Nice.
But Kirsten Dunst is always impressed.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good. As long as somebody is.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
Really. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, Mike. So I believe last week, I think you started.
I believe so.
I remember.
Yeah, I think I did go first because I remember specifically saying we're starting off on the weakest foot.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Fair enough. So we have what we do here is these challenges, 3 to 5 little pitches. We'll just kind of give our pitch, talk about it, and ask each other questions, maybe flesh it out a little bit. Maybe it's a shitty pitch.
Yeah.
Who knows? It is.
Who knows?
Maybe it isn't. Maybe. We'll see.
I don't know. But hey, just before you get started, Robert, I just want to
Yep.
throw this out there. These are existing IPs, but the
Yes.
show ideas are ours. So I'm just saying, IP holders, streaming services, because we both know this is not going on like cable or broadcast television.
TNT ain't wanting none of this.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No, they got to figure out another way to shoehorn some AEW into stuff. Get that third night going, or fourth night
fine.
now.
Fine with it.
I mean, I'm not going to say no.
Yeah.
If I could have wrestling every night of the week.
Give me that go big or go home, whatever the shit that Cody Rhodes talent show was.
Whatever, I don't know. But
Rhodes to
yeah, but we're just saying, if somebody would like to actually explore one of these ideas and I don't know, perhaps float us some cash.
Yeah, Dave Netflix, give us a call. Helen Hulu.
Steve Max, Johnny Amazon, we're here.
Yeah. No, it's just Jeff Bezos. He kind of does everything.
He really does.
Yeah. The visionary,
anyway,
revolutionary, if you will. So yeah, these are existing IPs. Maybe they're new ideas. I don't know. People have probably had these ideas in the past. They just haven't put them onto a podcast with two average dudes. So.
Yep.
Okay. So you ready for my first one?
Hit me with it, Daddy.
This is something that might shock you. It's an IP that you're going to be like, they can't make that into a TV show. They cannot make that into a TV show. Little IP called Pokemon.
Oh.
Pocket Monsters.
Oh, really?
Started in the 90s. It's been around for about 60 years now.
I mean, it predates a lot of Japanese history that we know.
Yeah.
Or just finding the beginnings of it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Pokemon and then other stuff and now Persona. And that's where we're at. That's where I'm at with my Japanese knowledge.
Brilliant.
My idea for kind of what I would love, actually, it's not even an idea. It's just what I would love for a Pokemon TV show. Live action.
That'd be
specifically in that Detective Pikachu Pokemon world. Okay, so not just like like take that universe, essentially. Make that into a TV show. You don't need Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu. You don't need a talking Pikachu anything.
No.
But kind of that specific live action universe. And then you can do the basic Pokemon story. Kid goes and he's in a town. He gets his first Pokemon from the weird professor who just hands out Pokemon and then grinds them into candies later on.
Yeah, just throws him into a wood chipper.
Yeah. And then this 11-year-old kid just goes out on an adventure to span the entire, his entire world or their entire world.
Occasionally fighting professor's like grandson randomly because they have a pre-existing beef that is never really explained.
Or if it's a later game, they're just best friends, and then the rival is just a little coward. He's like, "No, I wish I was as good as you," but it's like, come on, man.
No.
That's one thing you could take from the original. Give me Gary, who's just a complete asshole.
For real. Give me Dickhead Gary.
Dickhead Gary. But no, like for the cast, just kind of an unknown kid, almost. I don't know if you've seen there's a recent Disney Plus series based on the Percy Jackson books, and as far as I know, like the kids that they cast in that aren't like well-known actors or anything. This is kind of their first thing, and they're age appropriate for the story,
which is always a plus.
Yeah, as opposed to the movies that they made a few years ago where everybody was like 16, 17 years old, and it's like whatever. But yeah, just like a cast of kids as like the main character and their rival Gary and their friends that they kind of travel along with. But then have fun with like cameos for I'm thinking like just the random battles as you're walking around and someone's like, "Hey, I want to battle you," and then it's fucking Terry Crews with a Metapod on his shoulder. Gym leaders, Elite Four, you can kind of have a lot of fun with those characters that really only show up once or twice. I'm thinking
for sure.
Yeah, like OG, like the Pokemon creators. They can show up voice actors from like the Japanese and like the English voice actors. Once again, celebrities, like Terry Crews, like kind of gamers, celebrities that like, okay, they get it.
Like, give me T-Pain. Put T-Pain in there.
Oh my God, yes, please give me T-Pain. Give me
Shout
T-Pain
out
as
Boy
like
Gaming.
T-Pain as the electric gym leader,
Yes.
and he's got I forget the Pokemon's name, but it's basically just the big speakers, and it's in Detective Pikachu, and
Yeah.
it's just
No, like
auto-tuned,
that.
and that's kind of its thing.
It would be amazing, and he would be down for that.
Oh my god, yeah, T-Pain,
Yeah.
dude
What a
streams all the time.
yeah.
Dude's cool as shit.
Mm-hmm.
T-Pain for a gym leader in Pokemon, my live action
For
movies or
real.
series on Netflix. Um,
I like it.
and then obviously you got the Elite Four, and then the Grand Champion Miyamoto.
Okay.
Who
I like
else
it.
besides somebody else? But yeah, no, Miyamoto's in there
Yeah.
somewhere. Just kind of the grandfather of all Nintendo. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't watch. I'll be honest, I don't watch a lot of anime. Okay, but
But you play
what
one a lot.
I do, I've played Persona 16 times now, between 3, 4, and 5. Um,
You've basically been playing an anime I really don't want to watch.
yeah,
That's that's I mean we we could dive into that in a later episode.
yeah, that's later.
But
That's
yeah.
that's our
Yeah.
Persona Palaces episode. Um,
Mhm.
but instead of just like one episode per gym, you can have like 4 or 5 episodes that kind of lead up to whatever this gym is. Kind of that chapter is the first badge, and the next chapter is 4 or 5
Yeah.
episodes with the second badge, and then you've got the Elite Four and the champion and stuff like that. So you can have like a full on um, video game narrative in the show in live action, and still kind of base it with those with kind of that anime pacing. I'm thinking like I do watch Dragon Ball Z, and the
Yeah.
different sagas. They're not all just, hey, here's one season of 12 episodes and everything gets
Yeah,
started
no,
here,
it
finished
is.
here. It kind of
Mhm.
varies. So,
Yep.
but yeah, that's dream Pokemon show live action in that universe. Um, Probably a streaming service. Let's be honest. Netflix is making everything into a live action show now. But
They they're snapping up a lot of things.
yeah, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's my dream Pokemon show. Is that live
Okay.
action in that specifically that Detective Pikachu universe?
I like it.
Do you have any
Well, I
ideas
like
that
it.
you'd want to see in that?
I mean, my favorite thing about a lot of the anime that I watch is not like the stuff that is the main storyline, but like these weird, like kind of branching, like side story things, or like
Mhm.
you get weird little like backstory episodes about one character that shows up for an episode and has like 3 lines of dialogue, and then you never see them again.
Yeah,
So I think it would be hilarious to see like one of those random trainers that you just absolutely destroy because all they have is like a Pidgey and a Metapod, and you're
Terry
out there with
Crews.
like a
Yeah,
level, yeah, you're out there with just like a level like 47 Charizard, just torching everything.
yeah,
It would be kind of interesting to just be like have an episode or two or just like get some backstory on those random trainers, like why they're just hanging out there. And, and when you said Detective Pikachu, I'm like, give me an episode, The Misadventures of Mr. Mime and Psyduck.
no human dialogue.
Nope.
Just
Ah,
those two kind of running around, getting into
mm-hmm.
adventures.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like there's a hard and fast storyline that you can stick to, like a main through line, but then there's also like it is a big world. You can totally flesh it out and
oh
have
yeah,
these weird like just tangent episodes, or even like splinter that off for like YouTube content or, Instagram, TikTok stuff.
yeah.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, obviously the Pokemon world is one that's been around for decades now. All kidding aside, like
Mhm.
literally late '90s. I remember playing Pokemon when I was in elementary school and getting in trouble
Mhm.
for it.
Oh yeah, I
So
went to a
there's
Pokemon I went to a Pokemon tournament
yeah,
way back in the day, like Red and Blue. Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
So I mean,
Oh,
there's so much of that universe that you can mine for this, and the visuals alone of like Detective Pikachu, where everything looks so
yeah.
real, but obviously it's not real. But it's like, no, this makes sense for the world. Um,
Totally.
which I
Totally.
think I think there's definitely some video game adaptations in a live action that don't do that all that well.
Oh,
But
yeah.
you know they've got the formula. Now let's just make something more with it.
Mhm. Yeah. No,
So
it's right there. So
Yeah.
no, I think
So
that's great. That's a
that is my
solid
number one.
opener.
That
All
is my number
right.
one.
Perfect. So my list, it is larger but also smaller because as I was telling Robert before we got going, I had a brilliant idea as I was walking out of work today. And then within 150 feet, it was gone. So came home, took a nap, and wrote a list of properties that currently exist. And then I went through my Steam and Xbox Game Pass libraries. And I'm like, these would actually be kind of cool. So, my number one, I think this would be a great like streaming series. Or if you could make it happen as a feature length film, I think it could be a great series of films. But the Yakuza series,
Oof. Actually, as you were saying
right?
that, the
Yep.
background
Hmm.
that goes through different video game things was on
Yep.
Yakuza, and I was like, God damn, I would love a Yakuza movie or series of movies
Yeah,
or something. Yeah, but go ahead. Yeah.
it would be awesome. Like it spans such a like a very interesting time in Japan. Because like you have that those crazy peaks of like the bubble economy where the Yakuza are kind of operating out in the open and everybody's just like, all right, whatever, it's fine. Like wink wink, nudge nudge, we know what you're doing, just don't do the stuff we don't want you to do. And then it goes right up into like modern times where the Yakuza is actually kind of dying off.
Yeah.
Their membership numbers are dwindling. It's a completely different world. It would be amazing to kind of just like it's basically like not a Japanese Goodfellas or Godfather, but like you get to see a totally different mob because
Hmm.
in America we've seen the Italian mob, the Irish mob, a
The
little bit of
Italian mob
like
again.
yeah, it's like
Yeah, the
really those
Italian
two.
job.
Hey, um, no, I think that would be really interesting. And as far as like who you could cast in it, I've been watching Monarch Legacy of Monsters on Apple TV, and yeah, like there are like three really good like Asian actors in there that I think you could really put in some of the lead roles, and they could just carry it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it doesn't have to be
So
Ken Watanabe all the
would you
time.
follow like the just like kind of game by game? Like movie one
So
is Yakuza, movie two is Yakuza two, and kind of or season or series or what?
yeah, so I feel if you do this as a TV series, you can do it like game release order because the timeline jumps around and it works. You know, it
Hmm.
kind of makes sense in that American Horror Story way, like where there's no real proper through line, but you know what it is, sort of thing, even though it's very disparate season to season. But if you're going to do a series of films, I think you would have to do it in like chronological order, like the way
Hmm.
you would have to play the games for it to make sense as a cohesive timeline.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Like
no,
I would love that, and I think the Yakuza games themselves. Obviously, I've played two of them completely, which has been
mhm,
Like a Dragon, which is Yakuza 7, and then Like a Dragon Gaiden, which is kind of the happens during 7, but you're playing as like the original main character. Um,
yeah,
and then I'm probably going to pick up Infinite Wealth here this week, and I'm so excited for it. But I
oh
know
yeah,
that at least, like a dragon, there's so much story, but then there's all these side quests and side content and
yeah,
everything. And I think for if you wanted to kind of go with all of that, it would need to be a series.
yeah,
But I think those stories just by themselves are so good that like you could once again, I'm just going to bring up Netflix again because they're kind of the biggest in the
yeah,
streaming world. But like a Netflix or a Hulu could be like, cool, we've got the Yakuza IP. We're
hmm,
planning on doing 7 movies, and like we're
yeah,
doing them in order. So the first one is the first game. The second one is the second game, and then
yeah,
depending on how well they are and how well they do, you can definitely spin that off. Be like, cool. So we're doing another one. This one is Yakuza Zero, and we're going, back to the '80s. Or hell, go crazy. This is Yakuza. This is like a Dragon Ishin, where you've got these same
yeah,
actors playing. Like this. You know,
yeah.
uh, kind of past
Yeah, like
roles,
feudal
something like
Japan.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
feudal
it
Japan.
could
Thank
be
you,
like
thank you.
yeah. Yeah, no, like there's so much, like it is such a rich world, and the fact that it spans this many games, and like even the first one, like there's random dumb like side quests that are just completely absurd, make no sense, but are utterly hilarious.
Yeah,
Like, oh man, you've got all sorts of like supporting content too. Like
yeah,
like you can have your movies, and then you can have like little series, you can have like YouTube shorts and TikTok
yeah. Like what
stuff
you
and
said earlier
Instagram or
about
whatever.
like with
Yeah.
with the Pokemon stuff, you can have kind of those. You can like run into
Yeah.
the you see the character in the movie, and then cool, this month we're releasing Yakuza 2, and then after you watch it, maybe a day or two later, they kind of put out some
Yeah.
online, little kind of bonus content almost,
Oh yeah.
which
Yeah,
would be
exactly.
kind of perfect for those games.
Oh yeah, like yeah, you just it's yeah, like you splinter the content, like you turn it into stuff that drives everything back to the main thing. So if it's on like Hulu or Netflix or whatever, you're driving people back to Hulu or Netflix, or, God forbid you're encouraging somebody to get their own Hulu or Netflix instead of, doing
No,
what we've
thank
all
you.
been doing. No. Yeah, no. Come on.
Using my mother's. I'm just kidding. She uses mine.
Hey, there you
Whatever.
go. Yeah. No,
Yeah, no. I've
yeah.
definitely like the Yakuza series would be perfect to make like a movie series
Oh,
or just a series out of. And you don't really have to, you can update and modernize some things, but you don't really have to touch
yeah.
the story.
You really don't. And I mean, even
You
if you
know.
just stick with the ones that are in like the 80s, the bubble era in Japan where their economy was just like insanely growing,
Hmm.
like that is such a wild time. Like the stuff that they produced in that time is, I mean, groundbreaking, like Walkman, like all the technology that we take for granted now started back then.
Yeah.
But then also just like the goofiest, most random ass shit. Like some of the goofy ass little K cars. Look up the AutoZam AZ1. It is a tiny little car powered by a motorcycle engine with gull wing doors. Yeah, it is.
I want a DeLorean. Sorry.
It's all right.
Mm.
But yeah, it's just like that was just, I mean, even just aside from the game, like you just get to see this culture that some people fetishize, some people actually like know stuff about, but you could like show this to a wider audience without just being like weird and creepy, you know, or like actually showing some reverence for this culture that has existed and kind of
Yeah.
shaped our modern world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And for
So there we go.
Kiryu, Daniel Day Kim.
Yes. Yes. Sign
Yep.
off on that one. All
There we go.
right.
Boom.
Yep. So
Boom.
there we go. That's my number one.
That's your
Yakuza
number one.
series. Yep.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. Once again, Yakuza would be just a perfect. It'd just be like
Yeah.
you could make like the greatest just movie series out of that, and then it's just back to back to back to back. That movie marathon would be incredible.
Yeah,
Um,
like I had one thing in my little like bullet points. It's just like how many people are actually going to be clamoring for this, and it's like, well, okay, just like on the surface, like, oh, it's a Japanese mafia show. Some people might not be about it, but if you're just like, now these big like brolic dudes in silk suits beating the shit out of each other and doing
yeah,
crime in neon soaked Tokyo, yeah, it's a
a
bit better.
Yakuza with a heart of gold.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Oh yeah. Which
beating the hell out of each
before
other,
we
doing that thing where they just rip off all the jacket and shirt in one thing.
oh yeah, just
Like you got to have that. And to be fair, there are, um, unless I'm mistaken, there are a few live action Yakuza movies.
I
In
mean,
obviously in Japan.
yeah,
But this, I mean, would so are you saying like you'd be like this is
this would
like
be
a
like
almost like a Western kind of
yeah,
made one,
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Like
not a Western made where it's like oh now everything's happening in Seattle. No, it's
no, there's this new series on Netflix. I watched the first show. Um it's like a Chinese like mob boss has to like come over here and save his inept brother from getting murdered. I can't remember the name of the show. It'll come to me eventually,
One
but
Piece.
no, not One Piece.
Okay, I
It
don't know what One
is
Piece is.
it's you're close. You're right there. dumb as shit. I can't even remember what it is, but it's like I watched the first episode. It's pretty awesome, but that is like Asian cast, I think Asian director, Asian writer. Like, let them do it, you know, because their way is going to be better. Just let Netflix just throw money at this thing,
Mm-hmm.
or let Hulu or Amazon, somebody, just let them hurl money at it.
Yeah. Instead of, once again, I know um, this is not a video game related thing, but I think I remember reading um, obviously years ago, when they were trying to auction like the rights for the Harry Potter movies and like the franchise in movies, where one of the ideas was to take it and then make it into like an American thing, put it in like an American magic high school, like a modern day thing, and like that would just
Yeah.
like that just reminds me of instead of giving it to like an American cat or like American production company to be like, hey, everything is localized now. No, like
No. Yeah.
yeah,
And yeah. And the show I'm talking about is The Brother's Son.
that was close.
Yep.
That
You're
was
right
close.
there. You're right
Yeah,
there. But yeah, no, it is
sun
the first.
rhymes with one.
Yeah. You know, you're,
Yeah,
you're tap dancing all around
that's
it.
all I got. Yeah,
Yeah. Something like that. Anyway. And then
yeah.
also, real quick, to kind of get the idea of like what it could look like, get on YouTube and look up Love to Hate Me by Luke Huxham. It's this video he made in Japan. It's like 10 minutes long. It is this Yakuza connected dude who's obsessed with Lamborghinis, and he used to be a bike gang guy, like a Bosuzoku. So yeah, it's just him like looking like a sketchy businessman surrounded by prostitutes and driving a Lamborghini dripping in neon. It's amazing.
Perfect,
Yep.
perfect, awesome. So number two for my list, I'm gonna go and be a little, not either a little weird or a little completely on the nose. Um, I don't know if you remember the show. It's been off the air for a while now. Fox show Glee. Do you remember Glee?
Tragically, I do.
Yep.
Couldn't escape that one.
Show about the Glee club at a high school, and it's very kind of you know
Mm,
it got
mm,
weird.
real
At
weird.
least one of the main actors ended up getting arrested for bad things, and now he's dead, which is a good thing. But that kind of show with like it's for almost younger audiences, and it's musical. Like those shows are pretty
Yeah.
rare. They come around every once in a while.
Mm,
And obviously when they do, like Glee and stuff, and years and years later, like the Partridge Family and stuff, like Partridge Family.
yeah,
Yes,
Partridge Family. Yeah.
yes. Those kind of musical shows where every episode has a few songs in it, and like kind of that's the driving point
Yeah.
of the series. So I'm
Hmm.
thinking we bring back that genre, and it's on CW, and it's called Guitar Hero.
Oh, all right.
Guitar Hero, or I mean, you could do Rock Band, but like I think Guitar Hero has like the better kind of branding.
Definitely.
But
Yeah.
yeah, have it you like have the Guitar Hero kind of like that story mode that's in Guitar Hero. Where you've got the band and you start off in like these shitty places and you're kind of going up and up and up, but
Yeah.
have that be the catalyst where there's like a local band and they're playing shows or they're doing like battle of the bands and stuff like that against other bands, and the songs they're playing in universe are like they're original in universe, but it's popular songs that are either currently on the radio or just classic popular songs that are rock songs, with this band playing it, instead of
Yeah.
just there's music that's somewhere in the world and we're singing in the classroom and everything just sounds.
Yeah. Like
But
this weird, instead of a weird shared delusion, there's actually a band.
yeah, there's the
Yeah.
band, and each member of the band is their own character. They've got their own kind of things. And you've got, have other bands on the show as well that are playing. Like I said, like you could do, like a whole thing where there's like a battle of the bands. And you've got a bunch of these different bands playing different songs, and that can last for a few episodes, and that'll be, just kind of one of the hooks of the show, I guess.
Yeah.
And then even have real bands. come in sometimes, and they're doing kind of their own original music, or just
Yeah,
artists kind of interacting with the fake band in the show.
yeah,
But just kind of that genre of musicals, musical television, really is
yeah,
rare, but it usually almost always, it gets an audience.
exactly. Yeah, there's
You
always
know,
an audience for it.
yeah. But you
Yeah,
can, and then you fucking sell all that shit. You've got all the recordings, cool. You've got the CDs that come out or the soundtracks on like
whatever.
Spotify that come
Yeah,
out every few months with like the last 6 episodes and all the songs and stuff like that. Um, which I think is just it's also a really good way. I know, at least for me, when Glee first started years ago and stuff, I was a fan of it for a little while, and then it got just super weird. I was like, oh yeah, cool. Once again, I love musical television like this, and there were definitely songs on there that I'd never heard of. But then I went and found the originals, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, cool.
all right,
It's a good
nice.
pop song. They're all good pop songs, but
Oh yeah,
it can also be a good way just to teach new music to new people, and
yeah.
kind of get some stuff out there. Yeah,
Introduce some stuff, which I think is that was I think a really good thing that Glee did. It just
yeah,
introduced a lot of people to some very classic pop that just people like overlooked
yeah.
or just forgot about. Yeah, no,
It
no,
also
that is a
was
brilliant.
one of the catalysts for fun and
Yes.
like some nights. No, was it some nights? No, it was one of those. It was from the album Some Nights, but yeah, Fun
Mhm.
had a song in there that was like a more recent song, and the cast apparently had to fight their way to have it on the show because the directors were like, no,
Hmm.
we don't like break music. We kind of, we do popular music, and they're like,
Yeah,
no, I mean the entire cast is over here. They've been singing this song, and it works for these characters, and it helped Fun kind of get to that massive audience from their second album. The first album's great, the second album was all right, but
all right.
yeah, you get that that base, and you can help musicians sell more music too as well, which is a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, everybody benefits there.
But
It's great.
yeah, Guitar Hero the show, and instead of it just being Guitar Hero the series and it's a mockumentary or something, no, just
No,
full on dramatized, scripted television show. Unlike, not
exactly.
like High School Musical, the musical, the series or something, like not like that.
Yeah.
Um,
No.
but yeah, just a scripted show, Guitar Hero. You've got a band just trying to make it big. All the songs they
I
play
like it.
are their original songs, but it's clearly no.
Yeah, no, I like that. I think that's a really great idea.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, like some like a classic scripted show, you know, 48 minutes for your hour long thing.
yeah.
Guess you got to include the commercial breaks. That's how you get to an hour, you know. But yeah, no,
Honestly,
that's
on the
brilliant. I
CW,
like
they
that.
have a lot of ad breaks.
Yeah, I think
And let's
well,
be honest, like those musical shows are always they're like teen, preteen kind of thing. So it
yeah,
wouldn't be like a kind of a or anything
no,
that's crazy. But
yeah, no. I mean, you're not going to get like another like Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, which was a brilliant musical show.
you know,
So
I didn't
yeah,
even know
that
it was a
was
musical. I
that.
never saw that one. I know
Oh
what
yeah,
it is.
no,
I just
it
never
was.
watched it.
Yeah, no, it was like yeah, I watched enough of it and like this is a musical, and then yeah, like Rachel Bloom was like, yeah, this is a musical. I'm like, hell yeah, love it.
Oh, nice.
So
I might have to check
no,
that
I
out because
think
I've definitely heard really good things about it. Did not know it was a musical.
it it was
So
great. It was one of those. It got enough viewers to get enough seasons, and the critics loved it. But I think just because I don't know, people are weird about musicals.
yeah,
So yeah, it's like Glee worked. My Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, awesome, but didn't necessarily get the same traction. So
yeah. Gallivant I think got 2 seasons.
yeah, like
You know.
all sorts of great. You know,
Now, my crazy ex-girlfriend, was it original songs?
yes, they were all
Okay,
original.
okay.
Yeah,
See, and I think that's kind of the thing where if it's those original songs, then it's more of a you've got that audience that likes those. But when you're doing something like a Glee, where it's popular
yeah.
songs already, you know.
Oh yeah. I think I'm trying to think. Like I think it was one of the guys from Fountains of Wayne co-wrote
Hmm.
pretty much all of the songs on there. Like the whichever member of Fountains of Wayne went on to do like write all of the awesome movie songs from like that thing you do and Josie and the Pussycats. Like yeah, Like those actually like good
Dude,
songs from the
speak about a
movie.
fucking original soundtrack that still bangs. That thing you do. Ah,
Oh, for fucking real.
uh,
It, Instagram keeps like every now and again. They're like, "Hey, you like movies? You like vinyl? How about getting that thing you do, the original
I've
soundtrack?"
seen that a few
Oh,
times, and I'm almost tempted to go buy it because I love that soundtrack.
seriously, for
Yeah,
real. Just like, God,
I
such a
see that one
fun.
pop up, and then I see like the in universe pop star never stopping soundtrack
Yeah,
on vinyl, but it's like the in universe Connor for Real Thriller also cover.
hell yeah.
Which if you haven't seen that movie, go see that movie. Speaking of musicals, oh
Oh,
my god,
for real,
pop star.
man.
Um,
Now the other
yeah,
one, yeah,
that's my number two. That's my number
I
two.
love it. No, that's a great one. Hell yeah, man. All right, I've got my options over here. What do we do next? So the Yakuza, that was kind of big picture, could be serious. There's some silliness in there.
Yeah.
You know what? We're gonna kind of go with may not work, but I feel like
But it also might
there's
work.
still there's still an audience for something like this. So whenever I'm doing chores around the house, I'll
Chorin,
put
yep.
something on. Yeah, I'll put something on. Usually throw a movie on. What do I throw on? Big dumb action film I don't need to pay attention to. Just when I'm folding laundry, I got something for 10 minutes. While I'm folding my delicates, my unmentionables, something for me to watch. And usually it's some big dumb 80s action film. So here's what I'm thinking. We take a staple of 80s action films, The Ninja, and we kind of bring that up. What what franchise am I talking about? Ninja Gaiden.
Psychonauts. Okay, Ninja Gaiden. All right, I was close. I was close.
Psychonauts did cross my mind, but
Yep.
really, in the more, I've got to install both of these goddamn games, start streaming them because I love them so much.
Yep.
But no, like Ninja Gaiden, there's a loose story in there.
Hmm.
There's something, I don't know,
It's not
Shinobi's
just
out
a hard
for,
as nails game. There is a storyline.
yeah, like Shinobi's out for revenge or some shit. I don't know, whatever. It doesn't matter. It is a torrent of action. Like, that is the perfect thing to make a modern 80s throwback action movie out of.
Yeah.
And I think that would be fucking hilarious. Just a
Yeah, I
ninja
think
bent
what
on
was
revenge.
what's the one that came out a few years ago that like had a ton of fighting and action? The Raid,
Yeah, the
right?
raid.
Yeah, where it's just kind of like it's just like
Mm-hmm.
its own story, just a bunch of great action.
Yup. Yeah.
Obviously,
So
it's
like,
not like a like a ninja type thing, but just kind of
yeah.
that straight up back to
Mm-hmm.
basics. These are just kick ass fights. This is kick ass action scenes.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like think like the Van Damme films. Like there's
yeah.
not much of a plot there. Bloodsport, come on. Doesn't matter why he's there.
Does he want a son, or was that over the top? I don't know.
I don't know. Over the top is where Stallone is a trucker who competes in an arm wrestling tournament
For his son,
to get money
unless I
for his
made that
son.
up.
No, his son is in there.
Yeah, somewhere
Like
in
it,
there. Yeah,
yeah, the kid, he's trying to earn money. To either bring his kid along with him or to, I don't, I don't fucking know. Whatever. Still a file.
yeah,
So, but yeah, no, I think like the story of Shinobi and whatever the fuck it is he's doing, just absolutely wrecking rooms full of dudes and then fighting, I don't know, some random giant boss of some sort.
hmm
Like it is it's the kind of movie you and your friends share a 30 rack and just get absolutely hammered and have that on and you're yelling at the TV and just
yeah,
having the dumbest drunken fun time.
yeah.
That's what this movie is. Like
Just over the top,
sober?
hard R,
Oh yeah.
big old
Like
fights. I know, like swords cutting off limbs. Now,
mhm.
and it's been very long since I've played a Ninja Gaiden game. Are there more fantastical elements?
Yes.
Okay,
So
so
the
it's
later
not
ones you
just
did
like
get some.
you're fighting humans, but there's a lot of them. Like
No.
there's also like some more.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
like it kind of it did a lot of a lot of things that some popular Japanese franchises did as they got to the millennium and past that got real fucking weird. You know, mysticism and weirdness and all that stuff.
Yeah, mystic is what I
Yeah,
was kind of thinking of more.
yes. So yeah, I mean, dragons and magic and I don't know, ghouls, whatever the fuck you want to throw in there. Just pile it on. Who cares? Like at this point, as long as the ninja is named Shinobi and he is out for revenge, or I don't know, to clear his name or something. The last one I
Doesn't
played
really
was when they
matter.
re-released. The last one I played was when they re-released it on the 360, and I remember jettisoning that thing over my back fence. That is how frustrated I was with it.
Because you couldn't get past the first level?
No, I got pretty deep into it, but then it was just like difficulty spike. I'm like, well, fuck this noise. And away it went. Yep.
Yeah.
But no, that would be just a hilarious, like, yeah,
Just like an over the
rewatchability.
top
No,
bloody action samurai
just a
flick.
just a total meme of a movie, but
Yeah.
you will get eyeballs.
Yeah.
And yeah, like there will be watch parties. It'll be dumb fun. So that's my
Could
second
work.
pick. Just
Could
some
work.
big dumb fun action movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. I've got a couple here, and I think we only do like one or two more each. We're at about almost the 45-minute mark, so don't
All
want to
right.
keep everybody here for too much longer, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah.
I think this one here. So the series, there have been movies, once again like the Yakuza games. It's a Japanese
Hmm.
series. There have been local Japanese movies, but nothing that's come to the West, at least that I've seen. And if I'm
Yep.
mistaken, let me know. Um, Fatal Frame. Do you
Ooh.
remember Fatal Frame?
I do remember Fatal Frame.
Like they technically released a game for it last year, but it was like a re-release of like I think a Wii U game from a while back. But Fatal Frame,
Yeah.
an A24 film directed by
Oh
Guillermo
my
del Toro.
god. Yes.
Like
Holy
I
shit,
don't know
sign
if
me
Del
up.
Toro, I don't know if he works with A24, but like Fatal Frame is a weird ass game and a weird ass story, and A24 makes weird ass movies and weird ass horror movies. You know,
That is one way to
um,
describe what it is A24 does.
yeah, yeah. But an A24 film, kind of that budget and that scope and everything. Nothing doesn't have to be like like when they made The Ring, as an
Yeah.
American movie, and it was kind of a blown up budget and everything, and it was the first one was okay, but then afterwards
Yeah.
they're like more and more money, and it just got more and more stupid.
Hmm.
One of the biggest laughs I had in the theater was watching The Ring 2,
Oh god.
and it was close to the beginning of the movie where
Hmm.
the main character from the first movie is in like a hospital or something, and then her sister is visiting her in the hospital, and she's talking to somebody outside, and you're just like, I'm just like, oh, wouldn't it be hilarious if the girl like jumped from the window and then a second later, boom, and like me and my friends just started laughing in the theater.
Hell yeah.
And it just got more and more dumb from there. But no, Fatal Frame is a very visual story, obviously, with the
Hmm.
idea of hauntings and ghosts, and the way that you kind of defeat those ghosts and fight them is using the camera obscura, the
Yeah.
magic camera that kind of defeats them. Um, and it's just that creepy ass atmosphere of
Yeah.
the at least a few of the games that I've seen played are they're kind of in like an old house, and it's haunted due to like ghosts. That's why things are haunted. Um,
Yeah.
and the main characters are like on a quest to kind of figure out why the hell this stuff's happening to them. But that sense of dread, just walking through the house and like who you're going to like run into, and there's kind of some recurring enemies that pop up from time to time. Um, but like just the like the visuals of a Guillermo del Toro film
Ooh.
are
Yeah. That would
would
be
be perfect for it. He can make that kind of that dread without just being, hey boo, here's scary things, boo ha,
yeah. Like he's
and
not
make
like
you feel.
yeah, like he can be heavy-handed, but it is
Hmm.
a purposeful heavy-handedness. This like he
Yep.
can definitely pull this off with a light touch. He's done that before.
Yeah.
Like this, oof. Yeah. like a small confined Guillermo del Toro horror movie, sign me up. I'm there.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be just the story of one of the games. Just kind of an original story in that universe. Obviously, you can take things from
Yeah.
the games. Um, get the game creators involved if they want to be. To make sure that things are kind of lore accurate to the world. Originally, like my first idea for this was like a Silent Hill thing,
Yeah.
but then I was like, I mean, Silent Hill would be cool, but like you said, kind of that almost Guillermo del Toro and kind of a like that kind of cramped atmosphere, that
Yeah.
smaller, thing, I would shine, and it would be scary as hell, and it would
Mm-hmm.
make $1 billion,
Oh, yeah.
if not two.
I mean, you're being
Yeah,
conservative there, but I like where your head's
yeah,
at.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know who you would cast. I would kind of go with what you're saying with like the Yakuza thing. Kind of a more of a Japanese cast. Kind
Yeah.
of
Like,
have it be um, kind of world appropriate. Where it's
mm-hmm.
not just Sarah Michelle Gellar showing up and now she's in this thing. No, it's
Yeah.
a local story with local characters. It's set in Japan. Hell, maybe it's in Japanese and it's
Yeah.
subtitled. I don't know if then that would still be like Guillermo del Toro might not be part of that. Because he typically does
Uh,
things in English and
Yeah.
but
I
yeah,
mean,
like
he did win an Academy Award where the two main characters were silent.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
so
So
I think he would be okay with it being entirely in Japanese, as long as he could communicate with the actors in his
mhm,
big gregarious way.
yeah, and
You
and
know?
I don't think that's one of those worlds where like the dialogue itself isn't the driving factor of the dread. It's the atmosphere and it's
Yeah.
the surroundings and everything like that. And that's what he would get. I think flawless.
Oh, he would. Yeah, he would
So
nail that.
yeah, Guillermo
No,
del
that would
Toro,
be.
Fatal
Ooh,
Frame, and A24 film.
this is for you, buddy. This is for you. That might
Star
be the best
Jared
pitch of the
Leto.
night. It's Fatal Frame in time.
It's Fatal Frame in time, baby. So yeah,
Perfect. Hell yeah, no, that's great, man. All right. God, I'm not sure how I'm gonna follow that up, but
it's gonna be better.
it's gonna be something. So I've got two left. One, I think I'm gonna leave on the cutting room floor, or leave it as an OLI on the
I
outside
have
looking in.
I have like a little blip of one that I kind of was mentioning to you earlier, where I just had the idea of
Yeah,
who would be in it, and that's it.
yeah. I could
Yeah.
really like, yeah, my little blip. We'll save our blips for the end. You
Okay.
know. Plus, I got a couple that I kind of told you I was thinking about throwing in there, but it's like they already exist, and not just like in Japan or in Europe. It's like no, they were like mainline release, like they
So
were
here's what
actually
I'm
on
thinking:
like
Pedro Pascal is Joel, The Last of Us.
there it is.
Did he play Joel? I don't know. I haven't watched it or seen the or played it. Anyway, go ahead.
Um, so I'm going to follow up your Japanese horror film, which sounds amazing, with not a Japanese horror film.
Bold.
So I watch a lot of old movies. Like a lot of my physical media is stuff from kind of like this more recent golden age of like directors, like the 70s, 80s, where you could just let even the 60s. And uh, one thing that they'd like to do in the 60s was just like capture the scope, like how grand everything was. And I feel like kind of a small story in a big, like expansive setting is always a good thing. So I'm thinking Red Dead Redemption, the movie. Yeah.
First or second one, or does it matter?
I mean, I can only speak to the first one because I've played the shit out of that one. Second
Yeah.
one, just have not had time to get to it. So, but yeah, no, the first one, like, how it ends.
Hmm.
Like, you go into it knowing how it's going to go, but you're fucking on board.
Yeah.
And it was such a big, beautiful, expansive game. And like we still have large like swaths of America that still look like it did in the mid to late 19th century. So you could totally have a guy on a horse going around doing good things, having a little romantic through line, and then tragically the story ends.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like
Just a self-contained
yeah,
2.5 hour movie.
yeah,
Because it's gonna
exactly.
be
Like
like
it's
it's if it's Red Dead Redemption, like that first one near,
mhm.
that's gonna be an epic. But yeah, I know exactly
Oh
what you
yeah.
mean.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. Like, it's like these big beautiful visuals, but like the story it's small. Like it is one man's story
Yeah.
how it kind of intersects with these others, but it's really his story. There's no like branching off, it is we're following him
Yeah.
like to his tragic end with the background of just some of the most gorgeous landscapes you could possibly find anywhere. And I
Yeah.
think that's
Mostly
just
here, where we live in Utah.
yeah, for real.
Mm.
Southern Utah, shout out. But yeah, I think that would be just from a visual aspect, just these big grand vistas, you know, kind of a throwback to a very problematic time in filmmaking. But I mean, let's be honest here. But yeah, like just these gorgeous visuals and this like very intense grounded story, you know, just the juxtaposition of this the grandeur, the vastness, and then here's your story. Like you
Yeah.
have to focus in on it, but every now and again, you just gotta like look up, and be like, oh shit, damn, that sky sure is blue. You know, like
So
some
you're kind of pitching the story of John Marston,
yeah,
and kind of his his struggle with the what was it, the Pinkertons? Was it Pinkertons in the first one or just the second one? But
I
yeah,
think
like
just the
his
second one.
struggle
Yeah,
with hey, we're telling you, you need to go and find your old gang. Um,
yeah,
and then obviously we know what happens to him at the end of the game. But it's him
exactly. Yeah,
with his wife and his young son. So
mm-hmm.
you're kind of picturing it more of like that Western epic as opposed to like a spaghetti Western that's more
Exactly.
violent and stuff like
Yes.
that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, a Western epic, not a spaghetti Western.
Hmm.
Like I want like a really grounded, like a really amazing story, but with these crazy ass visuals.
Yeah.
I don't want like no Sergio Leone, fucking Italian Western music, none of that shit. However amazing it is, however fucking timeless that shit is, I don't want it,
Yeah.
you know? So, yeah,
Who can
like,
make that kind of movie nowadays?
yeah, I mean,
That be
fucking,
Scorsese? I don't know if Scorsese would do like a Western. His are a lot more like
I mean, he did Killers of the Flower Moon, which is kind of like Western
true.
adjacent.
True.
Um,
Um,
he
I don't know
didn't.
if
Yeah, Paul Thomas Anderson did There Will Be Blood, which was also kind
okay.
of Western, and that had some big visuals in there. But
I don't know
yeah,
if Clint
man,
Eastwood is too goddamn old these days.
I don't want Clint Eastwood near this one. Fuck him.
Fair enough. Okay. Um, Bigger question though, more important.
Yeah.
Who is John Marston?
If we can get him, Timothy Oliphant, I think that would be fucking great
Goddamn.
casting.
Oh, I was thinking Jared Leto, but
He's the backup. But yeah, Timothy Oliphant fucking just being 19th century Raylan Givens. Come
yeah.
on. Sign me up.
Oh goddamn, yeah. Timothy
God,
Oliphant.
I'm gonna go back and
That's not a
watch.
name that would have come to my mind.
God, I'm gonna go back and watch Justified. I'm gonna make my girlfriend watch it with me. That's what this is just led up to.
Yeah.
God damn it. But
So
yeah,
like
no.
an epic Western movie. Timothy Oliphant
Yeah,
as John Marston, his wife and his kid, and going through. I don't know
yeah.
if you'd be able to do everything from the game,
No.
but
You couldn't do you would have to I would really like it if you just hit like the main like story beats.
yeah,
Like there's some real fun like side stories in there, some side quests that were just so fucking good.
Yeah.
But man, like
Like, do you need to
can't.
go to Mexico in the movie? I'm trying to
Mm,
think. That was obviously a big part. It was like a big chapter of the game, but when it comes to the overall
yeah,
story, it's been a while since I've played it. So
same here.
yeah,
I don't know. I think you could write
but yeah,
around that. Yeah,
but
no, but I think like
there's plenty in
this
the game where you can make a
yeah,
cohesive story
exactly.
and cut some things out.
Exactly. Like this is going to look like something, but it is going to actually be something different.
Hmm.
Like that's kind of understand that,
Yeah,
like it's going to
yeah,
look what was think Pal World. Everybody's like, "Oh, it's Pokemon with guns." It's actually like it's like a fucking
it's,
co-op survival game.
yeah.
Like it
It's
just
Arc.
happened to be able to yeah. It's
Yeah,
Arc, it's not Pokemon. Like there are
yeah,
Pokemon elements, but that's kind of what I'm thinking for this. Like it's going to look like this crazy like throwback western epic thing, and then a bunch of dudes in big trucks that never get muddy are going to walk out of there pissed. So cuz it's just
all
like I
right.
got to
Oh
think
yeah,
it's making me feel things. God damn
I'm
it.
honestly surprised that Red Dead and Grand Theft Auto have not been adapted into a movie or anything.
So I feel like I've heard every so often rumors that Grand Theft Auto was
Yeah, oh
going to
yeah,
happen,
yeah.
but the thing with Grand Theft Auto is it's just such like a culmination of like so many like it's inspired by so many things. That's just all these things thrown into a blender and then voila, here's this other amazing thing that I think if you did it as a movie, it would feel really derivative,
Mm, fair enough.
you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Like like
And
I
like the
feel like it shot.
world, I think I think the universes of Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead, I don't know, and correct me if I'm wrong, if anybody, anybody listening, if you've got a different idea, like I
Yeah.
don't know how much of those universes you could make like an original story in that's not a video game.
Yeah.
Like it's essentially because the worlds are so oddly enough, the universe and the worlds in those games are so fleshed out and
Mhm.
so
Like
complete that
yeah.
they're just like, oh yeah, it's a world.
Yeah,
It's
it
not just, hey, here's a thing where there's a couple of crazy differences from our world, and it's very obvious that it's Grand Theft Auto. Other than there's rampant violence everywhere, but it's like those worlds themselves in the games are so complete and so full that
yeah.
they almost just feel like
They
our world, almost
yeah, like they
ramped up
feel
a little bit.
lived in.
Yeah,
Like that's how I would best describe it. They feel lived in. Whereas like a lot of other games just like, oh, okay, whatever. You just like threw some like textures over this fake
yeah,
wall, whatever. But it's like, no, these look and feel the way they do because it feels like, in Grand Theft Auto 5, people have just been like traipsing and pissing all over Los Santos,
yeah.
and doing meth in Blaine County.
And like you said,
Like,
it kind of
yeah,
a lot of stuff is derived from other
yeah.
works of art and other works of media and other parts of the world. Unlike stuff that we've talked about today, like Pokemon. There's a Pokemon world because you see these little Pokemon running around.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
um, like a Fatal Frame. It's our world, but there's ghosts. There's all this stuff.
Yeah, like
Even the
Yakuza is
Yakuza
literally
game is
yeah,
neon drenched Japanese kind of our
yeah,
world,
like
but turned to 25.
yeah, exactly. Like it is like an intensified version of Japan and like
Yeah.
Yakuza lifestyle.
But
It's,
that's that storyline itself
yeah,
is very much, hey, this is this world story, this is how things work here.
yeah.
I do this and my entire goddamn outfit comes off. Where
Mhm.
Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption are obviously over the top, very violent, but trying to mostly be based in reality. So I
Yeah.
think for a Red Dead or a Grand Theft Auto movie or show, you almost have to adapt the
Yeah.
original story of one of the
Yeah, and
games.
yeah, and I feel like between those 2, if you did both of them, the Red Dead Redemption, I feel, would be a better, like,
Yeah,
film or TV show. I feel like Grand Theft Auto, it is so great as a game series, because it has just been crafted to tell those stories. So if
Yeah.
you try to put it in another medium, it's just going to fall flat. You're going to lose, that little special thing
Yeah.
that makes it all work. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's why I went with Red Dead, because I'm
It's fair.
like,
No, 100% fair. Yeah,
Grand
yeah,
Theft,
yeah.
yeah,
I get that. I get that.
yeah, yeah. I'm like, GTA could be cool, but yeah, like I said, it's just like, like any of them, 3 Vice City, like any of them are just not going to feel right if you're watching it as a movie or a show or whatever. Like
Yeah,
it's just
I
like
think honestly the only ones that you could kind of make a case for are Vice City, San Andreas, because those are they're already kind of that well, I don't want to say retro, but that kind of glimpse of the, but like
yeah,
Vice City
Vice
it's
City
fucking
is Miami
Scarface.
Vice.
Yeah, in
Yeah,
Miami
it's Scarface.
Vice.
Yeah,
San
and
Andreas is
Boys in
like,
the
that
Hood.
early 90s Boys in the Hood, kind of that
Yeah.
kind of, it has its own vibe as opposed to just, we're in Liberty City and Liberty City is Liberty City. Liberty City is New
Hmm.
York and you're in there,
Yeah.
But yeah,
Like
a Red Dead story, and especially the first game I think would be better. The second one, Red Dead Redemption 2, incredible game, but you've got that much bigger cast of characters. You'd have to
it is.
kind of
Yeah,
follow
it's
and
you would have to
very
cut
big.
too much away from Red Dead
Yeah,
Redemption 2.
yeah,
Like that's its problem. Like it works beautifully as a video game,
yeah,
but as like trying to convert it into something else, like it's either going to be some insanely long sprawling like thing like Bleach where there's like 1,000 fucking episodes
yeah,
and you're still like not done with the story because the manga's still coming out and the show is like still behind the manga, or it's going to feel like a shell, you know?
yeah,
Like people are going
yeah.
to be like, but
Exactly,
wait, I remember this.
exactly.
Yeah. So anyway,
Yeah, no, Red
well, there
Dead
we
I
go.
think would be kind of taking it seriously
Yeah.
would be incredible.
Oh yeah.
And once again, the Red Dead story kind of, it's got some of those, those fun elements, those crazy elements, but that's a story that at the end of the day, that's one man trying to atone for the sins of his past and trying to be a better
Hmm.
person, better man for his father, and getting pulled back into this life that he thought he'd escaped with, you know, tragic end.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah.
And
No, it
then
is a.
and then you make the other movie that's Undead Nightmare,
I
and
was
it's
about to say
zombies.
that was that was the thing. Here's my thing for Red Dead Redemption. Such a good story. You know how it ends, but you are locked in for the ride. Gritty cowboy tale fighting, love story has it all. Subnote, including zombies. So just like hell yeah. Like this is a 4-season picture, baby.
Yeah.
Winter, spring, summer, and fall.
Like
We
you
got
can
it.
do the main story as this epic Western 2.5,
Okay.
3 hour movie, these crazy vistas. And then
Drop that. Oh,
there's the
dude.
90-minute other movie
Mm-hmm.
that's just Undead Nightmare. And it's just a
For
silly, that's your spaghetti Western. That's your super
oh yeah.
just over the top violent killing
Here's
zombies thing. Yeah.
here here's how it goes. The Red Dead Redemption, the main movie, that comes out towards the end of like the award season, get it in there just in time for consideration for, the Oscars, the
Yeah.
Golden Globes, all that shit. And then the following summer, Undead Nightmare.
Yeah. There
That's
we
your
go.
big summer blockbuster. Your dumb
Boom.
fun. I'm sneaking a little bottle of rum in,
Yeah.
pouring my Coke while I sit in the air conditioning.
Once again, Netflix, call us. We
For
don't own these
real.
IP, but
We've
get
given
them.
you
Yeah.
listen, I've written a thing or two in my time. I could get you some semblance of a treatment. You
There we
know,
go. So my
I talk to writers here and there.
so my blip,
Hmm.
my one blip that I have that I literally just thought of, I was like, how could you do that? And then who would be the star? And that's kind of where I ended.
Yeah.
Mass Effect, Henry Cavill as Commander Shepard. I don't know what I don't know if you're just doing the games. I don't give a shit.
See,
Henry Cavill
I
as
was
male Commander Shepard, done. I'm
I was
sold.
I was scrolling through like the Game Pass thing and I saw all the Mass Effect games and I'm like, huh. nah, and then it just kept going. So, my little blip was Dead Space.
Okay.
Like, that could be very cool, but it's also a lot like Alien, you know? Like, there is a lot of tension. It is somebody out of their element fighting for survival.
Hmm.
You know, jump scares. When is this thing going to show up? It's
Yeah.
it's a more modern version of Alien, which is a brilliant film, by the way. Like, go ahead and watch Alien and then watch Aliens, another amazing film, but two movies made by two very different directors, both
And then
awesome.
watch that other one with the bald guy. Covenant? Covenant. Oh, that's Alien Covenant. What am I thinking of?
Prometheus?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Prometheus is a hangover movie for me. Like Sunday, it's on cable. Give me those breaks to go up and get me a Pedialyte. Give me another Gatorade.
Actually, with the Mass Effect thing, I also thought, I'm like, oh, you know what else would be dope? You do Henry Cavill as a male Shep, um, Paragon, and then you have like Emily Blunt as female Shep, Renegade,
Ooh,
and you have
okay.
the same storyline, but you've got two different shows that come out at the same time, and you can watch a Paragon storyline of the season and then a Renegade story of the season.
That is, man, that is like
But
heyday of cable shit. That is
that would be,
amazing.
yeah. But
I
no, that I
love
mean
that
that's
idea.
literally, I got to Henry Cavill as
Yeah.
Commander Shepard, and I was like, done. That's all I need. You tell me that's coming out next year, I'm whatever streaming service it's on, I'm paying for.
So speak. Yeah, no, I would be down. Like Jesus, we'd have watch parties every fucking
Yeah.
weekend. Yeah. Um, Speaking of Henry Cavill, so the two things that I'm just like, these are kind of low hanging fruit, that I could take a swing at, but one is actively in production at Amazon right now. The other was a Saturday morning cartoon that failed because, a lot of lawsuits got thrown around.
Rock and
But one of
wrestling.
them was, no, one of them was Warhammer 40K, but Henry
Yeah,
Cavill
which
is,
Henry Cavill.
yep, yep,
Is he
in,
I know he's like really in, like he's doing it. Is he actually starring in it, or is he just like producing it
I
and
think
kind of
he's, I think he's
helming
starring
everything?
in it.
Okay,
I
okay.
think
I
he's
know,
starring
because
in
I
it.
know he's like
Yeah.
really involved in the making of the show too. I couldn't
Mhm.
remember though if he was like the star, but yeah.
Yeah, and as far as I can tell, he's actually like big into 40K, which
Oh yeah.
is
Oh,
yeah,
massive. Yeah.
fucking
He's
a.
he's been very vocal about it in like interviews and stuff.
Yes, yeah.
So,
So, um,
speaking of celebrities that would work for a Pokemon show, Henry Cavill.
yeah, for real, just plug him in wherever.
But
And
sorry.
then, yeah, the other thing was like a BattleTech Mech Warrior thing, but in the '90s there actually was a BattleTech cartoon show that had regular like hand drawn animation and then shitty like computer 3D graphics. They would like cut between the two. I'm not sure if Renegade HPG on YouTube still has a bunch of the episodes up, but there were people actively like trying to like archive this shit on YouTube so people could
Yeah.
go back and watch it. And man, oh, it was fucking ridiculous. But like I describe Mech Warrior BattleTech as like Warhammer 3K because it's like the year 3000 and beyond, and we've
So they're
basically like
underwater?
expanded. No, no, like not underwater. We've expanded across the universe, and we're like in a like we just kind of run back feudalism, but on just like a galactic scale,
Yeah.
And then Warhammer 40K, it's just like ridiculous religious theocracy where they are legit scared of technology.
Yeah.
It's
Now, and a little tangent about Warhammer. There's like two different Warhammers. One is like
yeah.
one.
So
It's
yeah,
like
so there's
Warcraft, Starcraft, kind of, right?
yeah, yes, yeah. So
Okay,
there's
40. Yeah,
40K, which is you know it's Space Marines, all that
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
And then there is Age of Sigmar, which is like ye old Warhammer, which is
Okay.
more like Warcraft, that sort of shit.
Yep.
So,
Okay.
yep.
Fair enough.
Both are kind of cool, but only dorks play Sigmar and are into that. So just remember, kids, all hail the Emperor, blood for the Blood God, so on and so forth.
Yeah, if Henry Cavill's into it, then I am too. It's my favorite
There
thing
you
now.
go.
Is Warhammer 40 War Warhammer. 40 hammer.
Listen, you can
Can't
be
touch
one of those
us.
guys who just like takes out loans and buys like the minis and paints them and never does anything with them.
There we
Or you
go.
can just be into the lore like me and some of my buddies are.
Just be like friendly
fucking
Geordies and just get all the things and not play it.
yep.
So,
God.
okay. I
Yep.
miss him.
So hey,
So, yeah.
there we go.
Anyway,
That's an episode.
we're an hour 10 here, guys. You know, we don't like to we we don't need to go any longer than this each week
Mm-mm.
or each other week whenever these come out. We still haven't really
Whatever it
decided on
is.
a release schedule, but we'll kind of get there.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. Thank you for hanging out with us. If you got any ideas, throw them down in the comments. This is going up. We're
Mhm.
posting on YouTube, and we're going to be getting on all the different podcast things for your feeds. So if you want to watch or just listen to it audio wise, you can. But yeah, if you've got any other ideas that you've thought of that are kind of unique, let us know, and then
Please do.
maybe we'll have a follow up, and we can talk about those. But Michael, where can we find you? I know we've got some gamer tags under our faces.
Yes. So you can follow me at Nerding for Beginners on Instagram, Nerding for Beginners on Facebook, and Nerding for Beginners on Twitch. I finally have all of the technology playing nice with each other. So the week after we're recording this, we are getting back full swing into streaming 3 nights a week. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Monday's going to be kind of a community night, so bigger games where we can get people in that aren't just the core crew. Wednesdays,
I believe the last one was Rocket League, right?
yes, we played Rocket League, which was fun. We can do a private server and have up to 8 people in there. So that,
Perfect.
And then Wednesdays, the crew night. So me, Courtney, Zach, Byron, maybe Chevy, whoever else kind of falls under the core crew of Nerding for Beginners. Like, we were going to be playing games with a story. We actually do stuff to forward the story, instead of fishing for 2 hours or me sighing heavily into my microphone and telling my friends to do stuff for 2 hours. And then Thursdays, it is solo streaming. It is just me playing single player games, getting back into some stuff that I enjoyed playing through solo. So, yeah. I think things like Baldur's Gate 3, Armored Core, I'll even hop back into the old Borderlands games, So, yeah. Yep.
Good. Yeah.
Robert, where can we find you?
Right underneath there, Twitch, Mr._Hawks182, Mr._Hawks on Twitter, and then I've also got a Facebook page for it, just kind of going over. I really just post like when I'm streaming live. Once again, I do stream pretty much all single player games. I've been really, really, really deep into the Persona series for the past ever. In January, I started and finished Persona 5 Royal by getting every Steam achievement in one playthrough, which is much easier than Persona 5 was. Lately, I've been playing Persona 3 Reload. After that, I think I'm probably going to jump into like a Dragon Infinite Well, actually.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, follow us on Twitch. Drop a follow. It's the easiest way to support. You don't have to drop a sub. Just, come hang out, lurk and chat if you want to. If you want to chat about anything, cool. We are also on Twitter at Storymoders Pod. You can see it right there below. Storymoders, one word, pod, one word, all of it, one word. So, yeah, give us any ideas, any thoughts that you have, any way to make the show better other than me getting a better camera and mic. That is being worked on right now.
Yeah.
But other than that, hey, thanks for hanging out, gamers. And non-gamers, I guess, too. Movie fans.
Hey, yeah, for real.
Y'all have a good day. Oh my god, I got balloons!
What?
I don't know. I don't know what I did to get balloons.
I don't know.
Yeah, anyway. I got balloons. You didn't.
I think I'm on. Could have sworn I saw like a red thing pop up behind me, and I'm like, oh yeah, it did. I think it's my stupid background.
Balloons, and it's just the green. You got the greened out background.
Hold on, I gotta change my background real quick. We can end the episode.
I don't know. No, we're getting these balloons. Now we're gonna go to the intro page. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye, everybody.